talk too much.
Yeah, I mean, if you, we can always share the presentation and we always have some office hours that we spend with them. So even if you don't get to do all the recommendation letter part and you want to skip some of the slides, that's okay.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
always go over the information with them later.
Later on. Okay. Okay. Um, what did I want to ask you? So I'm also thinking of coming back next year, and I was really wanting to find out what you think about the perfect timing to do that so I can spend a little bit more time with y'all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, that's something we can work out.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes April, May are good
Mm-hmm.
months for visits. This is
Mm-hmm.
when everybody comes. But
Mm-hmm.
then September, when the fair happens, that's a great opportunity because we broadcast that widely. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you get more, we will get more exposure on September if that works for you. I know it's difficult because it's still the beginning of the year for you guys.
When
But
in September?
September, generally our fair is at the beginning of September. So this year is September 2nd. Uh,
Oh,
so yeah.
see, I think that I'm going to Mexico
Okay.
September 2nd.
September 2nd, because there's
Yeah,
another fair going on.
I
So
think so.
maybe, yeah, maybe next year you can just book us. You can,
Yes.
you can
Yes.
think of us. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
But we can work it out. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I will let everyone in. Valen, is it recording? Have you heard the, yeah, it says YouTube here. Good. I'm going to admit everyone. Hello, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope everyone's doing good. I can see some of your faces.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Santi. Hello, Marcos, Angie, Marco. Sorry, I always say Marcos. All right. It's a pleasure to have you here today. We have a very special session. We were looking forward to this one because it is not often that we have the great chance for you to talk to a rep from a university. And this time it is very special because I got to meet Susan some months ago. And I said, well, you really should come to the Competitive College Club and talk to our students because, as I was telling her, you are students who are very prepared, who have competitive profiles, and who are very interested in studying in the US. So this was a great match. Susan will tell you a little bit about letters of recommendation. She's going to give you some advice. She's going to tell you what to do, what not to do, what to avoid. But she's also here to tell you about the university she's representing. This is Houston Christian University. So it's a very, very big pleasure to have you with us, Susan. Thank you for being here, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Emilce, and hola to everyone. I forget is it Buenos tardes or I forget the afternoon greeting. Is it Buenos tardes? Yay! I got it. So, buenas tardes to everyone. I'm Susan Maioli, and I am an international coordinator here at Houston Christian University. And as Milce said, she was so generous earlier on this year in March when I came to Argentina and I visited with her and was just blown away by the work that she's doing And I could tell she's very good at what she does. And we really, really, really love that we're partnering with Education USA Argentina. We need Education USA. They are our allies at home where you are because we can't be there all the time. So we're very grateful for them. And I have to say, I love Argentina. It's one of my favorite countries. I've been talking about Argentina nonstop. My friends are tired of hearing about it. And I especially love the people. They're so great. But I also love the ice cream. So all I want to do is come and have ice cream with you. So today or tomorrow, please go have an ice cream for me. And maybe you can take a picture, send it to Emil, say to send it to me. And I'll live vicariously through you. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about understanding letters of recommendation. Now, we will discuss why they matter, why these letters matter, why we need them, and how do you request a strong recommendation letter. We'll also talk about the common mistakes to avoid when you are using a recommendation letter or requesting it. Additionally, we will explore what makes a recommendation letter effective and what makes it stand out, and how to get a collaboration between your recommendation letter and your statement of purpose and your personal essay and your application material. So all of that needs to come together to tell one story about who you are. Okay, so what is the purpose of a recommendation letter? First thing we have to remember is that a recommendation letter provides a third-party validation of your qualifications, your experience, and your potential. So it helps admissions committees understand who you are. They want to understand what your academic abilities are, but you're more than just a brain, right? You're more than just a brain. There's more to you. So we need to understand what your skills are, your achievements, your character, and your potential. And we need to go beyond your grades and your test scores. And it kind of humanizes you or personalizes you when you are providing this letter. Now, when you are trying to get a letter of recommendation, you need to have it written by a specific kind of person. Now, this kind of person is a scholar, someone who has the authority to write on your behalf and say, academically, Valentina is awesome. She's this, she's that. I've been her professor, I've advised her, or I've been Marco's employer. I hired him when he was 14, or I've been an internship leader to Santiago. He started the internship 2 months ago and he's about to finish. So we need that. But the other thing that's important, and I'm going to say this over and over again, is that the person also needs to be comfortable writing a recommendation letter in English. Okay? So if you're like me, you're great at maybe speaking English, but you don't know how to write English. That's just me. So, so the person needs to be both things. So recommendation letters are to be written for specific purposes, especially when you're a F1 student. This is so important because you're way over there. We're probably not going to meet you until you've been admitted, right? So a recommendation letter helps demonstrate your academic excellence, your leadership potential, and your communication skills. Now, what are they used for? if you are going to graduate school, they use for your graduate applications. If you are trying to apply for scholarships, that's what they used for. If you're applying to an internship, that's also what it will be used for. But in this case, we're talking about undergraduate admissions processes. So this letter would be specifically for your undergraduate admission process. Now, before I go on, I'll just preface this by saying different schools in the US, and I know Education USA will also back me up on this one, and they can tell you more about this, but different schools require different recommendation letters, right? So you also have to be aware which school you're applying to and what they need in that aspect. So who should write your letter? Now, strong recommendation letter writers include teachers or professors or people who are familiar with your academic achievements, professionals who know you or your work ethic, employers who know your character, and there are also specific people that you should avoid. You should avoid famous people who barely know you. You know, you're not going to go to the mayor's office and say, please write me a letter, and he doesn't know who you are, right? And don't ask your family for a letter either, because, you know, they're always going to be favorable in their assessment of who you are, and it may not be true, right? Which is awesome. So our family loves us, so they'll always speak well of us. Or it could be your friends. Of course, your friends also fall in this category. They're not good recommenders because they're going to be biased. People who cannot provide specific examples are also not good people to approach. So these are all people who you should avoid. Now, your documents have to create a consistent and a compelling application that makes the decision maker understand better who you are. But at the same time, it has to have a professional connotation. That's why you're avoiding all these other people down here. Okay. What should be included in your letter? Now, when you are requesting a recommendation letter, think of the message that the recommender is sending to the admissions committee. So the letter should answer that question, who are you? Because that's what we're really trying to find out. And why are you so special? Why is it that the university should let you in as one of the students? Do you fit in with the university culture? So these are things that you're thinking about when you ask the person to write. Those are things they also have to think about, okay? So when you ask for a letter, let them tell us how they know you. Are they your professor that you had in 5th grade to 8th grade? Are they your employer? Maybe you had a little job that you were doing, or are they your advisor? Maybe you're part of an organization. Whoever they are, they need to let us know how they know you. They also need to provide a list of reasons why you are being recommended by them. So that also shows us the connective nature of your relationship with that person. For instance, they can say, well, I'm recommending Santiago because I'm his coach and he's been playing soccer on my team, and our team just won the national cup, you know. We need a little bit more detail, so that person needs to detail that. They also need to make sure that they are outlining your personal story with evidence. And like I said, they're giving us examples and they have some evidence to support those examples. So they should explain why they think you are unique. For instance, if they are your professor and you're in the top 5% of your class, they need to say, I've been Marco's professor for 5 years, and he has been consistently in the top 5% of his class. That's important. They also need to have a closing statement. And in that closing statement, they need to kind of reiterate what they've said. So that's part of what the letter needs to look like. And it needs to be no more than 1 page. This all has to happen within 1 page. And as I said before, when you partner with Education USA, this can be really valuable as they can advise you on different requirements for different institutions. So they can help you with that. And they can also help you carve out your essay as well, because that information will be important. Characteristics of a strong recommendation include specific examples, measurable accomplishments, personal observations, academic or professional strengths, and comparisons with peers, an enthusiastic endorsement. So this person is on your corner, they like you, and they're going to put out a strong case for you. It's not like the teacher that you annoyed throughout your 12th grade. That's not the person who's going to write your recommendation letter. It needs to be someone who had a good experience with you, right? And when you're writing as well, when you're adding your take, your personal statement or essay, which should match with this letter, don't talk about other people, talk about yourself, right? Because that will also strengthen your recommendation letter. And as I said, the example, if you're in your top 5%, you'll mention the course and you'll say, the person will say you demonstrate exceptional analytical skills. That's very specific to you. Okay, what is communication protocol? Now, there are times as people are communicating with admissions offices, they ask questions or do things that impede their admissions process because they're not doing the right thing. So I just want to mention, please make sure you're professional in your communication with the admissions offices. So when you send all your documents, please be very professional and do your research on the university before writing to them or asking them questions. And when you write to them, don't use slang. Use appropriate language and don't demand anything. Be clear about how you'd like them to respond. For instance, you send your recommendation letter. You haven't heard anything back. You haven't seen your application being moved forward. You have not been admitted. So you write and you say, sir or ma'am, I sent my recommendation letter. I attached it to my application. I've sent all that I need to send. Is there anything else that I need to send? And please let me know where I am in the application process. Thank you very much. And then you wait for them to respond to you. If they respond and they say, well, we need such and such, then ask them questions that actually make sense. So when you're writing your emails, please be professional, and be succinct, be short. Don't write these long emails because that also impedes the process of answering your emails. Or, don't write and say, somebody called me Lady Susan, and I was like, that's very inappropriate. You're either calling me ma'am or you're calling me, by Miss Mayoli or something by my name, right? So you just have to be careful how you communicate, and you wait for answers. You wait for answers. So let's go to the next slide. How do you build relationships before requesting a letter in class? Now, if you have a professor who has office hours, you should always go see your professor. Make yourself visible to your professors, your teachers, your principals, and go and ask them questions. Go visit them. Oh, I was in class and I thought this point that you made was interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about this? Or I didn't understand this. Don't be afraid of asking questions. As professors or teachers, we love students who ask questions. That shows us that they're listening and they're thinking about what we're saying. So participate actively in class. Ask thoughtful questions and deliver quality work. If you deliver quality work, you will stand out. And when you need a recommendation, those professors or teachers will be willing to do it for you. Outside of class, volunteer for projects, meet deadlines, communicate professionally, and take initiative. If you hear they're looking for someone to run the school paper, maybe you have a school newsletter. So I want to do it, I want to do it and be willing to learn on the job. And that shows us initiative. When we get that recommendation letter and it's got things like that on it, we definitely take note of it and we pay attention. When do you request a recommendation letter? Now remember, your recommenders need to have enough time to write this letter. So don't go to them 2 days before and say, hey, I need to send my application to Houston Christian University and it's due tomorrow. Can you write me a letter? No, that's so inappropriate. It's not good. So ask for a recommendation 4 to 6 weeks before it's required. And then send your supporting material, because you have to communicate with your recommender and tell them, oh, here's my transcript, so that you are able to refer to it. Here's the award I won for painting or writing a poem or whatever. Here are some of the things that I've done. And then send a polite reminder. If you don't hear back from them in 1 or 2 weeks, send a polite reminder. Oh, sir, ma'am, I was just checking to find out if you had gotten a chance to look at my request. And then after submitting, once they send it to you, you submit it to the university, send a thank you note. Tell them thanks so they know you appreciate them. How do you ask professionally? Okay, so I have an example here. Mrs. Smith, I enjoyed your computer course and learned a great deal from it. I'm applying for an undergraduate program at Houston Christian University and would be honored if you would consider writing a strong recommendation letter for me. Remember, you have to be polite. You have to provide your context. What is it for, right? Where is it going? And then you have to ask early and allow them to say no. If they're not able to do it, it's fine. You'll go to the next person. So when you're thinking of recommenders, think of 3 people that you could ask, because the first 2 might say no, so at least you have an extra one that you can ask. But take note of this language, strong recommendation letter. That's, you want them to understand you need a knock it out of the park kind of recommendation letter. And don't be afraid to ask for that, okay? Provide the following information to them, and I mentioned this earlier. Provide personal statements, program descriptions, deadline information, and a list of achievement and relevant projects so that they can go ahead and refer to those things when they're writing, okay? Let's go to the next one. Don't wait until the last minute. You need to avoid these things, but a lot of people do this. It's so uncanny. But these are some mistakes, common mistakes to avoid. Don't ask someone who barely knows you. Don't send incomplete information. Don't pressure your recommender. Don't write them every day. Can I have my letter? Can I have my letter? Can I have my letter? Don't do that. Don't forget deadlines. Ignore follow-up communication. Let's say they write you, you send them a message, you ask them for the recommendation, and then they send you a message and say, oh, did you do any special projects? Can you send that information to me? And you don't bother to write them back. That's in very bad taste. Don't do that. Don't ignore any communication. Go ahead and be on top of things as you're asking for this information. Now, cultural considerations for international students. Understand that US expectations are different from Southern American expectations. Now, we are more of a cold culture, you're a warm culture. So we need details. We need details. We need it to be personalized. It needs to be achievement focused and evidence based. So share your accomplishments confidently and provide examples for recommenders, right? And don't assume they will remember every project. So write them down, give them that information so that they can write successfully for you. I already talked about your follow-up. And then key takeaways, start early, right? Start early. Choose recommenders who know you well. Provide supporting material. Communicate professionally. Follow up respectfully. And express gratitude. Okay? So remember, strong recommendation letters are built through strong relationships, preparation, and professionalism. Okay? All right. Now I am going to share a little bit about Houston Christian University. Houston Christian University is in Houston, Texas. You may have guessed that. And this is actually our Bell Spire. It can be seen from the freeway. It's a really awesome building. And so that's right outside our school. And this is kind of a bird's eye view of the school. This is our Law and Liberty building. And it also has a similar bell tower. And the bells go off so you can hear them all over campus. And what you see all around this building is our campus. Now, if you have your phone, you can actually take a picture of this QR code. And once you scan it, you'll be able to go directly to the Houston Christian University website. So I'll give you all a minute if you want to do that. And I'll start talking about the different schools of and colleges that we have as part of our um, uh, professional. So we have the Archie Dunham Business College. We have the Education and Behavioral Science. We have Science and Engineering. We have the School of Christian Thought, College of Arts and Humanities, Fine Arts, Nursing and Allied Health. We have an honors college, and we have a theological seminary. Our degrees and distinctives include 75 plus undergraduate programs. We also have a 5-year bachelor to master's option with our MBA. And 95% of all students who apply to Houston Christian University receive merit-based scholarships. So we're very glad that we can provide that kind of support to international students as well. Our top programs include nursing, psychology, business, biochemistry, criminal justice, and our new programs include video game design, animation, cybersecurity, learning, tech and design, and social work. And I talked about our popular majors. So we also have an authentic community, which means we are very active as a community on campus. And so we have our residential dorms on campus, and we have intramural sports as well. So you will see people playing beach volleyball. We have a sand volleyball pitch here on campus, and we have soccer and baseball. There's different things. So you'll see different people playing those games. We are also rated Division I in national sports. And so we have 17 sports that are actually in that Division I program. We have 70 plus organizations, including Greek life, that are led by students. So if you like something and you want to come and lead a organization, you can do that. And we are rated number 5 in campus diversity. It's a very diverse campus. We have over 63 different countries represented. We believe in growing spiritually, so we provide the opportunity for community service. We also have university-wide discipleship. If you want it, you can have it with students or faculty or staff. We also have local, state, and global opportunities like Beach Reach, because we have a beach here in Galveston. And we also have Houston Week, where you can go and maybe give people water or different things like that. So we get involved in our community, which is really great. And we have weekly convocation on Wednesdays, and for seniors on Thursdays. Like I said, we are Division I athletics. And for the men's sports, we have basketball, cross country, football, golf, soccer, and track and field. And for the women, basketball, volleyball, cross country, soccer, golf, softball, and volleyball. Houston is actually, downtown Houston is very close to us. So in 15 minutes, you could be at the zoo, you could be at the Galleria, which is a huge modern mall, or you could be in the museum district. And we are also in the heart of the Fortune 500 companies. There's over 28 companies here. Those are the richest companies in the world. We also have the medical center and several cultural centers. So if you come here, there's opportunities for internships and also for different cultural immersions. So how do you apply to Houston Christian University? We need your official high school and college transcripts or foreign transcript evaluation if you're not in a bilingual school. And then we also need English proficiency if you're not in a bilingual school. and you can do Duolingo. And there's no application fee, and we don't require an essay. And like I said, we don't require a recommendation letter, but we highly recommend you send us a recommendation letter. You have a better chance if you write that, if you get someone to write that letter. With the immigration process, you would need a copy of your passport, financial affidavit, and bank statements, 3 months of bank statements from within the last 6 months, or an official bank letter from within the last 6 months. Now, I know Education USA helps us a lot with these processes. They'll let you know exactly what you need to do, so I won't tarry long in that process. Now, at Houston Christian University, 95% of our students receive financial aid. So we give away 39 million in scholarships and grants. And international students pay the same tuition as our local students, and you get the same scholarships. So that's huge. And you also have work-study options here at Houston Christian. We have additional options sometimes if you are a member of a church or you have a talent. There's some music scholarships, athletics, housing scholarships. So there are other scholarships that you can apply for as well. Here's just a brief look at the kind of scholarships that we offer. So if you have a 3.8 to 4.0 high school GPA, you could get up to $25,000 a year. And it goes down to 23,000, then 21, 19,000, and 17,000. So even if your GPA is below 2.99, you'll get $17,000. Now, I think Emil say you have some of this information, so I'll go forward and she can definitely share that with you. So once you're accepted, you would receive an I-20, which is a document that literally gets you into the country, tells the customs officer why you're coming, how long you'll be here, where you'll be studying. And you can also, once you get that document, you'll pay your enrollment deposit, which is $200. You apply for housing, which is $150. And then you'll send your final transcript. And if you're under 22, you'll send your meningitis vaccination and you'll attend orientation. So it's pretty simple if you have everything available. So this is our husky. This is our mascot. Isn't she cute? Her name is Kiza. Look at the little baby Kiza. Oh, they're so cute. And you'll see Kiza walking around the school. As an international student, you can work 20 hours a week, and sometimes people take care of Kiza and feed her. And that's one of the jobs you can do on campus. Now, as I said, my name is Susan Maioli. I'm the coordinator and recruiter, and my boss, Shannon. We will be happy to help you if you are interested. And this is our contact information. Feel free to email us, reach out to us, call us, anything. We would love to have you. Okay, so that's a wrap. Now, if you have any questions on either the recommendation letter presentation or the college presentation, this is the time and definitely the place to ask.
While they are thinking about their questions, I would like to say that I would happily take that job of taking care of your pet mascot because I love that about the university. It's super nice.
Isn't it awesome? Sometimes people will have dog food in their offices.
Oh.
So Kiza will be like, I want to go to Susan's office because there's dog food, and they'll bring her along, and it's really cool. It's really cool. Yes.
That's fantastic. But come
Yeah.
on, you guys, you can unmute your microphones if you want. Of course, the chat box is good, but take opportunity of the chance of having the place to speak to Susan.
Any question is a good question.
That's right.
I have a question. I already know the answer, but maybe students don't.
Okay.
Are applicants required to be Christian? Do they have to have a specific faith?
That's a great question. No, you don't have to be Christian and you don't have to have a specific faith. In fact, we have a lot of students who are Muslim at our university and they love it. It's the only thing you'll remember is because it is founded on Christian principles, we're going to teach from a Christian perspective as well. But it's wonderful. Professors are really kind. I've been to a state school and then I transferred and came to Houston Christian. I ran to Texas as quickly as I could. But I noticed there's a difference in the state schools. The way they treat the students in the state schools is very different from the way they treat them at a Christian school. And I will say that, I mean, my professors were amazing. They were so kind. Sometimes I would start crying because I couldn't believe I was getting the kind of help that I was getting, well, whilst before I couldn't get anywhere, you know? So yes, great question, Valentina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Santi, you go
Yes,
ahead.
Santiago, I think you have your hand
Hi,
up.
Susan.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I wanted to know, like, how can we stand out as international applicants?
Yes, that's a great question.
Thank you
So,
so much.
yes, of course. So if you, first of all, we're going to look at your GPA. That's the first thing we're going to look at. So if you have a great GPA, you're going to stand out. The next thing is most universities will request to have some kind of meeting with you, even if it's online. If you cancel, like I have people who cancel the meeting or don't show up, oh, you're not getting in. If that's my first impression of you, you're not getting in. And then we will look at your extracurricular activities. For instance, are you involved in anything outside of school, or in school, are you involved in any clubs or anything? That can tell us that you are a student who thinks beyond just, you know, yourself. You're considering other students, you're helping other students. Even if you're the kind of student who your professor says, Santiago always carries my bag from the class to my office. That stands out to us. As small as that is, it stands out to us. Does that help?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Any other question? Yes, Julia.
Hello, how are you? I showed up late, so I don't know if you already
Hi.
talked about this. I'm so sorry, but I really want to know what kind of maybe research opportunities do you have for undergraduate students?
Research. Now, what is your major? What major are you thinking of?
Mostly political science, maybe, or international relations.
Okay. So if you are a political science major, you can actually collaborate. Let's say you want to do police work, or you want to do work with our senators as they're campaigning. You can definitely be part of our campaign management team, or different things like that. Most of the time with research, you'll find that it's biological. So it's in a lab or there's a different process for that. But with political science, you can definitely do an internship and you can collaborate either with some politicians, or we also have a radio and TV station right next to our campus, which is one of the big 5 TV stations we have here in Houston. So you can also intern there. So there are opportunities to intern.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes, Alvaro.
Hi, my question, I was wondering about well, standardized testing scores. I know that some universities have like an optional standardized testing scores policies where it is not mandatory to send them. I was wondering if like does it always help your application, or are there any specific cases where maybe it's gonna hurt your application sending standardized testing scores? What's your professional opinion on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I can talk about what it does for students here at our university. So we have a test optional option, right? You can use your GPA from your high school scores. But let's say you do the SATs and you do really well, extremely well, better than you did in your last 3 years of high school. You should send that score, because what it does at our school will give you a greater scholarship. It will increase your scholarship if your scores are higher. But it doesn't really make that much of a difference if you go to a test optional institution. And I think most of them are test optional now. Yeah, so it's not really required. But if you want to have a better scholarship at our school, it will help you if you do better.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? So how many of you have applied to go study abroad? Anybody? Nobody. Anybody want to go study abroad?
Yeah.
For
Yes.
sure. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I must say that I am very impressed with y'all. Have great English. So y'all are 10, 20 steps ahead already. Already. Good job. I like that. That's awesome.
Some of our students are not aware that they have a great tool when they can speak English fluently to apply for universities for life, but to apply for universities, as Susan was saying, you are very well prepared. And all these young students are, as I said at the beginning of the meeting, they have very interesting profiles. They work hard. They have what it takes. So we have chosen them to do this program with us. So we are all, crossing our fingers and hoping for the best, because we know this process is tough, it's long, but it also has great rewards when we see that they can fulfill their objectives and dreams of studying in the US. Hopefully in the US, some of them want to study in other countries as well, so they might give it a go.
Yes.
But we will just do our best to accompany them and to connect them with you guys who know and have all the information and can share that firsthand with them. So we are very, very happy to have had you here. We are looking forward to connecting again and, sharing more of the process, sharing more of the work we have been doing. Hopefully you can come visit us to Argentina. I'm in Buenos Aires. Valentina is in Rosario. We have some other centers throughout Argentina as well. So we hope to see you again soon.
Yes, for sure. And I do want to say one thing before we're done. I know there's a lot of talk about coming to the US, getting visas, but I want to let you know that I have never seen a South American student denied a visa. South or Central America. No, I've never seen that. So please don't be discouraged by what you hear. A lot of it is propaganda. I know a lot of it, they're trying to strengthen the borders and things like that. But at the same time, y'all are coming from the right side of the world. Can I put it that way? So please don't be afraid of that. Be confident in your application, and definitely please come study in the States. We want you here. I want you at my school. You can all come to my school. I'd love that. Yeah, and go follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Don't let anything stop you.
I think that's a great way of closing this meeting. Susan, thank you very, very much for this afternoon, and we'll be in touch. I hope our students get the chance to, they have your contact now. So I hope
Yes.
they write to you and ask you questions, even if they were too shy today to ask them
Yes.
here.
Yes, please. Yes. Thank you so much. And it was great to be here. I'm so grateful to Education USA Argentina and excited to see where relationship will take us. And please, students, any question, email me. I would be glad to hear from you. Actually, can I just put my email on the chat?
Sure.
My direct email is, and Emil say you can also share it. Oh, I didn't even see. Oh, yeah. Yes. So my email is smaioli@hc.edu. And again, my name is Susan Maioli. Please feel free to reach out to me directly if you like. Okay?
Thank you very much. I hope you
Yeah.
have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk soon.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for
Yes.
connecting.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Next one.
Thank you
Next
very
time.
much.
Bye, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, thank
Bye,
you.
Santiago.